Kia Motors to test drive some of the new ProCeed cars. We've been driving the ProCeed GT, which has been amazing. We've just come to the Barcelona racetrack for some driving around the racetrack. We're going to see some cars in a second. Nick's been driving us and he's been enjoying the car. I'll tell you a bit about it later. And I'll tell you about how it is from a passenger side of things. There's a group about to start going on the racetrack, and then in about 5 minutes we're gonna go. No doubt you'll see my eyes closed as Nick drives fast around the racetrack. No, it's okay. You enjoyed it, Nick?
Of this one. Because he has new brakes, you know. We always mark it.
Okay. New brakes.
New brakes.
New brakes, that's how much braking goes on. So we're here for the launch of the Kia ProCeed, which is the larger kind of saloon luxury vehicle, which you can just see over here, which we've been racing.
You all set good? Then you can hit the sports button, which is in the middle of the car, and we will be in the right setup for the racetrack. The car will be a bit more aggressive. And then we will go for exactly 4 laps together. The first lap will be a slower one. I will show you a bit the ideal racing line, talk you about the corners and the right gear choice. And then after we go for 2 more laps. And if I see everybody's close and you all can perform a bit faster, we will accelerate a bit, alright?
So we've taken that for a drive. You'll probably see the video somewhere. But we're having another few laps in the Ceed. So whereas that's a slightly larger saloony kind of vehicle, this is the kind of top hatch.
If the engines are started and you are ready, we can start the cars, and whenever you're ready, just follow me.
Oh, let's go.
We'll wait for the ProCeed group in front of us.
So we're pulling off in these Ceed GTs. We've gone with the automatic, just because it's easier on a racetrack.
So then, as I said, the first lap will be a bit slower. I activate the sports mode in my car. And the first corner is a right. So as you maybe know, right corners we start at the left for the maximum ratio. So we go for the left. There is now a blue cone on the left. This shows us the entry point, the turning point of the corner. So we start to turn the steering wheel to the right, at the inside, on the orange apex cone, and then we can accelerate to the next orange at the outside, which is the corner exit.
So this is
next corner, same story. We're
quite a
at the
bit
double cone, which is the braking
aggressive.
point. At the blue cone we turn in, then we are at the inside and the apex and can accelerate for the corner exit to the left. Next is a crest, then after this crest we have a longer right corner.
This is quite a bit more aggressive than the ProCeed.
Turn in at the blue cone.
Brakes are a bit
On
sharper.
this corner we can take the curbs at the inside, and then we go for the exit
sharper.
to the left.
So we're hitting the curbs here on
Before
both
going back to the
sides.
right and braking, I shift down here to second gear for the hairpin left.
So braking into
Go
the
for the curbs
hairpin.
again.
And this is much tighter than the ProCeed. Obviously it's a very different car, but functionally on the inside they're almost
Next corner is a long left. We start at the right and slowly go to the inside. You see the orange cone. The orange cone is coming late.
So seats and dashboard and general driving position are all very
And
similar.
after the straight there is a left corner.
It's just
We shift down
shorter
again.
overall, so it hasn't got that kind of saloon feel to it.
So we're out and about, having a cruise around. How you finding the car, Nick?
Yeah, it's great. Really enjoying it. It's initially a little bit of a adjustment just because of the size of it. It's obviously longer than the car we regularly drive at home, which is quite short on the front end. It's got a bit of a nose, but
In 500 meters, turn left.
not that it makes it difficult to drive at all. It's just sort of understanding the size of the car, but pretty comfortable and confident now, clipping along quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different kind of car. It's kind of comparing a Fiesta ST to a Mondeo. This is a kind of performance comfort vehicle, whereas the Ceed is a little
Now
bit
turn
more.
left.
Yeah.
Certainly the GT, certainly a bit more about performance. and
Yeah.
it's nippy, and this is just a bit more of a comfortable cruiser.
Yeah, so they've got all the bits that you need from a passenger perspective, which I know a lot of people tend to forget about. You know, most people look at a car and think about how it drives, when actually you should always think about how you passengers feel and how it feels for them to enjoy the journey. Now, I've been sat in the front. I'll probably go and sit in the back in a little bit to see how it feels as well. But there is plenty of leg room.
200
I've got
meters.
loads of leg room. I'm
Right,
5'4", but you know, even if I was longer, you know, you get your feet in here comfortably. There's glove compartment just here. So you got your airbags, aircon and stuff coming out here. Heating, big speaker built
You have reached
in.
your talk point.
JBL branded speakers.
Yep, JBL branded speakers, couldn't see that. And obviously we've got heated seats. Is it heated steering wheel?
Yes, I've got the heated steering wheel on.
Steering wheel on, which was good because it was a bit nippy. So heated seats, obviously in 3 levels, like quite a lot of the cars.
Leave at the third exit.
What else? You've got your built-in sat nav as well, and it'll obviously hook up to your phone. Yeah, so we're actually driving an automatic today. Normally Nick drives a manual and has done in many different countries, but today we decided we'd try out the automatic for a little bit of a difference to tell you about. Obviously you've got your sun visors, what are they called? Sun blocker? Visor? Yeah, sun visor. There's me. There's a mirror there as well. Got your lights up here. And then in the back is actually quite spacious. All of our
Auto dimming mirror as well, just so you know.
auto dimming mirror.
So if the car behind you's got really bright lights on, it dims itself.
Yeah, so what Nick was saying before was that apparently when you are, perhaps there's someone passing you, you can see, I don't know if you can see in the wing mirror,
Leave at the third exit.
there's 2 tiny little cars in the corner. I don't know if you can see it, just there. And they light up orange when someone is passing you from that side to give you warning if they're in your blind spot, which is great.
Okay, so there's a few cool motorway things. So obviously we're just on a little back road at the moment, so it won't show up, but when we go back onto the motorway I'll show you. So there's a couple of things that it does. Obviously it has like cruise control, so a standard cruise control like any other car with cruise control. But what this does in cruise control is it maintains a consistent distance from the vehicle in front of you. So if you're at cruise control, say 120k speed limit like we were earlier, and then you start creeping up to the car in front of you, the car will pick the distance between you and the car in front, and it will just maintain that distance. It will just maintain that distance from the car in front. So if you're in cruise and you're approaching another vehicle, like we are now, the car will automatically maintain this distance between your car and the car in front, which is pretty cool. The other thing that is pretty cool, which is just lit up actually, so in the right hand corner when we stop, I'll show you, it has automatic lane assist. So what that means is, again, when you're on the motorway travelling at speed, if you drift slightly from your lane, i.e. you don't indicate and make a clear movement, the car will actually automatically bring you back into the centre of your lane. So if you're driving down the middle of your lane and you start to veer off to one side of the lane, so we've got our little green lane light on at the moment, if I let it veer over to the edge, you see it's steered back in. I've got nothing behind me. So with the lane assist on, if I drift over to the right, so it's giving me a little beep just to warn me. If I drift over to the right, it'll steer me back into the middle like that. So pretty fancy bit of tech.
And shift down for the hairpin left. I choose the second gear here.
So there's a couple of other little features that stand out apart from the norm of, you know, with a sort of higher end car. So we've got the heated steering wheel, heated seats, as we say, we've got the lane assist, all those kinds of things. A couple of kind of comfort things that stood out, which have been really good. The seat's really easy to adjust. I'm quite tall, and I can still get a really good field of vision and still see the dials all at the same time, which isn't always true. So there's a good bit of adjustment on the seats. Another little cool thing, when we stop and pull over and I open my driver door, the seat actually automatically moves back to give me more space so I can get out. And the same when I get in the car, it'll move back, I sit down, close the door, and it slides back forward into the chosen position. With that chosen position, you can just see on the left hand side down here, if you can see through the steering wheel, there's a set, there's a 1 and there's a 2.
Now keep left.
So basically, if Anna and I were both driving this car, I've driven it and my seat's set to L1. When Annie comes to get into the car, opens the door, presses L2, and that can be her seat memory. So that will automatically change the seat position to whatever Annie has set it as her own. So we can both drive the car, and just by pressing a button, it'll automatically take itself back to that pre-programmed setting, so we can both of us share the same car, which is a pretty cool little feature and not something that I've seen before. So yeah, I really like that.